What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode with AB Investments, and we're gonna do an update for today. Not much happening on a very kind of boring day, unless you were a day trader. There's a lot of volatility and some pumps and dumps that we addressed before. As you know, who's really behind those pumps and dumps? A majority of it being brokers, your own brokers. Yes, take money and do that. Speaking of money, you heard BlackRock today is raising their dividends just a little bit, and they're going to be doing a stock buyback. Now, you're probably wondering, like, hey, AB, what does that have to do with us? Like, is BlackRock, we're not even shareholders in that, but we heard of them. We know they're the biggest asset manager and all that, and all the pension funds money is in there and all that. Well, here's the thing. You got to remember, this time of the year, the beginning of the year, this is called raising money period. This is where they raise the money. The catastrophes normally happen the middle / end of the year, anywhere between April, Mayish, and on for and upwards. This is the time where big, whether asset managers or fund managers or even pension funds, hedge funds, even brokers, and we'll get into that, and market makers, this is the time where they want to raise money. Have you asked yourself a question? Why is, like, Ken Griffin, for example, was showing off the wealth, speaking and boasting about 16 billion record profits last year, and they're looking to do more this year and blah, blah, blah. Why was most of that coming out lately? Because it's the time for it. Toward the end of the year, they collect their profits, and this is how you will here's how I can bridge the gap for you guys to know how how Ponzi schemes are not just necessarily a one-time thing or a one phenomena. Ponzi schemes are technically all around you, part of almost your daily life. Look at all these people that go ahead and give their money to a brokerage, like whether Fidelity Investing or anybody, or a personal broker. If you got a personal broker and you don't do your own trades, you're technically within a Ponzi kind of scheme until it becomes one. Here's what I mean by that. Those brokerages, they rely on trying to either over leverage their positions, or leverage their positions, not over, and they take advantage of what trend is going on, whether it's if there's a run up, they can walk in with a lot more money. So the more money they have, they walk out with a lot more profits. Simple math. If you do 10% off of $1 million, that's basically $100,000. But if you were working with $1 billion, now you got the answer on what the 10% will be like. So that's what they go after. Now, that right there is technically not the Ponzi scheme exactly. The Ponzi scheme is when that $1 billion or that $1 million is taken and obviously not invested. Or in other words, even if it was invested, if there was any losses, the show continued to raise more money. So this is the time of the year where every BlackRock, Blue Rock, Citadel, Webull, Robinhood, Fidelity, whatever, Ameritrade, each will be looking to raise money. Now, each person has different playground to play in. So BlackRock, their playground is to lure in big pension funds, retirement funds. Obviously, they're the already biggest asset manager in the world. The way that they lure people in is by announcing stuff like this, like we're raising dividend, because teachers funds and retirement funds and firefighters funds and all those, that's what the thing they look forward to, because they're like, hey, we got to pay these guys when they retire this XYZ. They're no longer going to be working. We're going to be paying them. If And that lures them in. So the intentions are clear from the investing fund, the pension funds. However, when something like, for example, 2008 happens, all that gets wiped out and people get screwed on their pension funds, on whatever, savings, all that stuff. So think of it like this. Now, BlackRock, that's their playground. And when they do stock buyback, normally that obviously sends the price of the stock higher, which means if I was an entity, one of the investors in BlackRock, or if I wasn't and I wanted to, now I have a bigger reason. Oh, look, I'm gonna get like 0.3% extra on my dividend, on a free returns, just on the position that I have with them. And on top of that, they're doing a stock buyback. That means the shares are going to go up, which means if I have 100,000 in there or 1 million in there, if it surges up to whatever, let's say it surges 2-3%, that gets added onto my position. If obviously that again, it's all looked at. But when you think about like when you want to exit, you want to get out, all those positions, there are set terms and rules onto when you can get out and when you can't. So basically, they just want to bring you in based on the allure of heaven and the land of milk and honey. But once you're in, how could you say, I want to get out of heaven? Why? Who doesn't want heaven? You really want to leave to hell? That's the card that they pull on you. Now, what do brokers do? The brokers have to create excitement. That's the card that they play in. They can put out more advertisements saying, oh, if you join us, we'll give you 20 stocks free, and 2 of them could be Google's, or yeah, I know, right? After they were after the announcement of the DOJ investigating them. Shout out to Pelosi, by the way. She got out 4 weeks ago, magically before the DOJ announced the investigation. So shout out to her. Even when she's no longer in the in the office, she's still pulling her strings and proven worthy of how successful of a trader she is. Shout out to Pelosi. So anywho, so brokers have to entice people through that, either those advertisements to lure you in, and the biggest and the number one way for them to create excitement, to lure people, even the people who don't invest, they want those. Those are the people they want. If you don't realize, we weren't supposed to be in this party for long. We were invited to the party. People who tell you we weren't invited to the party don't know the financial markets, and they don't understand Wall Street. All of us were invited to the party. The thing is, we weren't planned to stay past a certain time. We were supposed to come in, listen to some music, and then walk the hell out. But we didn't. We wanted to stay for the whole event. And that's something that they did not want. They tried to kick us out, but so far it's not working. Why were we invited to the party? Because we're the money. My thumbnail shows you $1. That's what it is for. You are the money. So they need you for your money. But past that, we don't want. As soon as your money is with them, they don't want you anymore. Clearly, that's what the Ponzi is all about. Now, they can play many people, but they can't play certain people. That's when people start jumping off of offices or magically found in pools and whatever. So who's the people that history teaches us, unfortunately, that can be and always fell victim to, I don't want to get political, which entity or people always throughout history, in any situation of fraud or situations like this, became the victims of the victimizer. Because I don't want to say, you guys know what I want to say, but I don't want to say it. I've had enough time with shadow banning with YouTube and weird stuff being said to me. So I'll just put it that way. You know what I mean, but we'll put it that way so that YouTube does not go ahead and try to ink me out. So the victimizer throughout history victimizes which group? The most group that ever got victimized and scrutinized was always the general public, the retail crowd. We were not supposed to be in the stock market. But there was a time when, before this whole COVID resurgence crap, there was a time where the markets was already dwindling. The Feds was already rolling out bailouts in 2019 before any case of anything was given out. Now, why are we handing bailouts to banks? I would love a bailout for free. I would love one. You would love one, wouldn't you? I know you would love one. In the trillions of dollars. Why? Moving on. So since that's the case and that's what's happening, you were invited in the beginning of 2020 to an event. Whatever your views on them are, that's your views. We're not going to discuss that. That's not what this whole video is about. But we were invited to that event in the beginning of 2020. And so did people did flock in. Free, no fees, brokerages opening left and right. You had the Robinhoods, the Webull. I mean, brokerage accounts were opened up just about daily. There was like a new service. In something that for over 80 years, perhaps even 100 years, was not theoretically tapped by retail. So to end this right here and not make it longer, this time, ultimately, we'll get through with it. Maybe, hopefully, if I could do a live. I've just been super busy. So hopefully we could do a live here soon. If not, maybe I will continue on the next video. Let me know in your comments what you think. If you would like to hear more about the Wall Street bigotry and how that whole mindset and how that stuff work in the background and what's the intent behind things. But as we're finishing this video, like I told you, ultimately, this is the time of collecting money. They have to entice people. Banks have to do something, roll out new programs in the beginning. This is the time they do that. When they need money, this is the time for it. Toward the end of the year, it's called crunch time. That's when they suck the profits out, or whatever money, whether it's profit or not, they're going to take it. But now it's kind of like they've mastered the art of panhandling and yet conserving the proceeds of panhandling. So they're the beggar / boxer at the same time, the beggar and the rich man in the same time. So with that being said, much love, stick around, enjoy the rest of the evening. AB Investments.